Hey, everybody, come on in. Hey, Tyronda. Yes, make sure you like the video on the way in. Hey, Mona. Hey, Katie. Hey, Tara. How y'all doing today? Tell me what y'all thought about this episode as you're coming in because I don't know, these episodes are getting cattier and cattier. Like, oh my goodness. Hey, Yoli Poly. Hey, Pretty Scorp. It's just like, oh my God, they are so combative. Like, the women are so combative on this show. Like, I just don't understand, like, where all the animosity is coming from. Like, even though some of the women can be, like, annoying or condescending, it just like y'all don't know each other that well to be beefing this hard with each other, you know what I'm saying? And I do think there are some antagonizers. I do think Janelle is a ringleader, but I also think that there are some silent or undercover instigators in this group. I really do. um I'm just waiting for a little bit more time to pass and for it to surface, because I don't think it's just Janelle, even though we're gonna put a lot of it on Janelle, okay? And obviously Jessica as well. Your title is perfect. Yes, they are definitely petty. Janelle was doing too much with her. I am not gonna talk to you because I don't like you. It's yeah, that's like okay. Yeah, there are, mind you, I'm not trying to just totally stick up for Kira because she has her ways, but did Kira do anything to be told, I'm just not gonna talk to you? Like, come on. And the men aren't even all that. Yes, like y'all are fighting over these men, or y'all are letting it really ain't even over the men, really. I think the men can be used as an excuse, but they just want to have animosity towards each other. And the guys don't seem to be into the women. Child, don't nobody really, really, really seem to be into each other. Like, we have people that are like going through the motions. I feel like I'll get more into it, but I can't think of anybody that I felt is like a real, real connection, that has a real connection with each other. Like, I could really see them dating outside of this. Janelle talks to people like they're beneath her. Exactly. Yeah. Why does she talks to people like they are the scum of the earth? Like, I don't like that. Just because you don't like someone doesn't mean they don't deserve respect. Like, especially if they didn't disrespect you. For Janelle to be so sure of herself and her real purses, these women easily get under her skin. Yes. Yes. Like, I'm telling you, like, if I really was walking around here like I'm better than everybody, do you really think I'm gonna let people that I think are beneath me get me out of my body like that? No connections, none. None. Yeah, it sounds like the men are dropping the ball. It seems like they are not communicating with the ladies. Yeah, every time we see the women talking to the men, they're talking about how they aren't communicating and how you're not calling me, keeping up with me. You know what I'm saying? Aries and Phil seem like a man. Now, I ain't gonna lie, out of everybody, they snuck up on me. I'm glad you brought them up. Actually, let me just go ahead and get started because I'm just gonna talk about the whole episode without like reading my notes. Thank you for bringing up Aries and Phil because they were the first couple we saw this episode. They said that they spent hours on the phone, and this is the first time that they had a one-on-one date. He bought her roses, and he does seem like he really likes her. She seems like she really likes him. Now, I ain't gonna lie, they do seem like they have some sort of connection because I was just seeing them like they're giving each other the eye. Her so the objective for the women this week was to present the men with their doubts that they had for their relationship. And she said she's looking for a partner and a potential, stepfather for her children. And, you know, that's something that she presented to him. And he said that he wants more kids and it doesn't have to be a brand new baby. And so if they were to get together, he would gladly accept her children as his own. And, she asked him, does he want to be a husband? He said he does. It's not, I don't think it's far-fetched for me to believe that Phil is really into Aries. She's a gorgeous woman. Um, he's a nice looking guy. Like I could see that. My only thing is I really hope he's being sincere about wanting to be a stepfather to those children. I hope he's not just saying that just to say it. I hope he is being genuine because, you know, that ain't nothing to play with. That ain't nothing to just say and, then it comes down to it and you're not able to take on that role with those children. You know what I'm saying? But so far, they're the only ones I might have a taste of hope for. Okay, so let's move on to Chris and Sierra. Okay. Now, this is the other Chris, the new Chris. This is the country Chris, the Chris with the fro. Um and Sierra. So, coming into the date, it felt like Sierra was trying to test Chris because apparently Chris has a reputation amongst the women that he's constantly trying to sell himself. That, yeah, I went to school to be a doctor, but he didn't become a doctor. He walked in Fashion Week, like he was telling women, he was giving the women all the same rundown. And I have to be honest, I said the same thing about Red, and I'm gonna have to say the same thing about Chris. We do not want you to sit here and give us your resume every time you talk to us. And I understood where he was coming from. I feel like Chris is a very like country, you know, small town guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he meant any harm. I really don't think he was just trying to stay on the show. I don't think that he was trying to be disingenuous. I legit think that he what really was trying to show these women who he was, but the way he went about it was all wrong. I really do. I really do. I don't know. I just didn't get disingenuous from Chris. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But Sierra feels like he's not genuine. And so she asked if he had any insecurities. He said he had no insecurities. And that made me doubt his emotional intelligence. Like, okay, Chris, like everybody has insecurities. Maybe you are very confident and you push through whatever insecurity you have. But everybody has insecurities. I feel like a little bit of your insecurities is why you always run down your resume when you're talking to these women because you're trying to show, you know what I'm saying? That's maybe a little bit of an insecurity for you. Maybe you don't want to come off as like dumb. Maybe you want to show that you're intelligent, Everybody has insecurities. So it made me feel like he just maybe need to dig a little deeper. And then he went on his resume. He's done 2 years of medical school. He's done New York Fashion Week. And she didn't believe him. She just wasn't here for it. And she wasn't giving him a chance. Let's just be honest. Like Sierra wasn't giving him a chance at all. It doesn't seem like they had any sort of connection in the first place. The date, like somebody, I think I just saw somebody say it was a waste of time. It was because she wasn't really trying to give him a chance. I think Chris would have been open to it, but he was caught off guard by all of the questioning that she was doing. And then at some point she told him that she likes Birkin bags. And he felt some type of way. He was like, I don't even know your last name, but you're asking me for a $50,000 bag. And at the end of the episode, he was like, "You're riding an Uber over here, but you're talking about a $50,000 bag." Uh, at some point, he was like, that kind of scared him. Like, what if it's a rough year and I can't get you that? And she basically said, "Well, I would just get it for myself." And he was like, "Well, would you doubt me?" And she said men tend to be intimidated by her income when they don't make as much as she does. I just felt like Sierra was wrong for this. I just felt like she was wrong for this. You're just meeting the man. I don't like when men test women this way. So I just didn't like the whole test of would you get me a Birkin? Like, can we get to know each other first? That's very superficial. Like, the man is not, he don't seem like he's just rich. So for you to be saying that, it does come off a little, like, it comes off superficial. It does. Um I don't know, but the whole, well, you rode a Uber over here. I Maybe she would wanted to drink and she didn't want to drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say that either. Like, I feel like he did a bit much with the whole you're riding an Uber, but you want a Birkin. So I don't know. I didn't like the way she did him though. I didn't like that. I wouldn't like it if a man was testing a woman that way. So let's move on to Chris and Jessica. So Jessica also came into this date with a mission. Um, she surprised him at work. Is it really a surprise if you're showing up with cameras? He had to know that she was coming. But anyway, um, so I want Jessica to let her hair down. Jessica, you are dating. This is a dating show. This is not a business meeting. This is not an interview. You are not interviewing Chris. And that's what it feels like every time I see them together. Like, he even said, like, she's really authoritative and can anger easily. Who wants to be on their toes every second while we're dating? Like, I wouldn't want to move forward with you if I feel like I'm constantly gonna be walking on eggshells because I don't know what's gonna set you off. You know what I'm saying? Because she's so stern. Like, mind you, I'm not saying she has to let all of her guards down. But like, can we be a little playful? Can we have a little banter back and forth that doesn't feel like it's gonna end in an argument? Like, it's just she's just so stoic, and I just want her to, like, supposedly you like this man. Like, can we get a little flirtation? Like, something, like, it just, like, I can't tell. Um, and he even said he wants to see a softer side and to see her less assertive. On the flip side, a lot of people say that Chris comes off as a little bit, what's the word? Juvenile? Not juvenile. I don't even want to say immature. He has his head on straight when it comes to a career, but he does come off as a little bit like a mother-son dynamic. It just does. Like, and maybe it's because she's so assertive, but he also comes off as a little bit too passive. I don't know, but it does come off as a mommy son mommy son thing, Tara. And I'm just like, like are y'all just doing this for the show? Like, I'm not feeling it between y'all. Like, I know what y'all are telling me, but I'm not feeling it. And basically he was telling her he would like to see the softer side. And she said she likes direct communication. And there's nothing wrong with being direct. But girl, if you this supposed to be your man, can we come on? Can we, like, I can't never see her like cuddling up and watching a movie and laughing. Like, I can't see that right now from Jessica because she's so it's like a wall there. And then it's all about your tone and delivery. And so she confronted him about him not being so um he hasn't been consistent with reaching out to her, and his excuse is he's been busy, but he says he's gonna put the effort in. And you know he basically told her, you hadn't really been putting in no effort with me either, with trying to contact me either. And so she also agreed, like, yeah, you're right. So we'll see, child. But it just felt like a business meeting. It just felt like, oh my goodness, like it was so uptight. Like, girl, please loosen up. I couldn't take it. So then let's move on to Marvin and Kat. These two both seem like they're just floating. Neither really have too many connections. I mean, I know Kat was on a date with Phil and they seem like they connected a little bit, but I just don't see either one of them meeting anybody here. I mean, especially Marvin and his proclivities, child. But when he said Kat was his strongest connection, I was like, oh yeah, you ain't you ain't got no connections. Like Kat. Anyway, they talk about Comic Con and how, they will like to dress up and go. And he likes to imitate Jurassic Park. Girl, I don't know. Everything about him just seems so fake to me. Then she got down to the nitty gritty and asked him if he could be monogamous. He said that he grew up in a 2-parent household, and that's all he knows. And she was like, "You won't get bored." And honestly, I was bored. I was bored with this day. Oh my goodness. He said he's been there, done that. He's ready to settle down. She doesn't believe him. No one believes you, Marvin. You just want to be on the show. Like, come on. We know you don't want to be in no monogamous relationship talking like that. And then at some point, they said that he mentioned wanting a poly lifestyle. Why are you here? Let's move on to Kyra and Herbert. Another couple, no chemistry at all. I don't see Kyra having chemistry with anyone here. Because you accusing Quentin of liking white women, I see you with a white man or anybody non-black, to be honest. Anyway, he came over to her home. She was gonna cook or whatever. He brought the dog a toy that was cute. The dog is all on him and they in the kitchen. And I'm just like, we about to eat. Get your dog off me. Can I go on a rant? Dog lovers, I'm speaking for all people that are not necessarily the biggest fans of animals. Okay? Whether we scared of them or we just don't like to be around them. Get y'all dog. Get y'all cat. When we come over to y'all house, can you get them, please? Can you put them in a designated area to where they're not jumping all on us? Especially if we about to eat. Especially if we in the kitchen. Can you get your dog, please? If you see me jumping back, I'm not playing with your dog. I'm nervous. I'm scared. You can't read social cues. You want your guests to be uncomfortable. Everybody's not like you. Everybody don't like your dog. You love them. I know you do. And I respect that. I respect people that love their dogs like children. That buy them clothes, that, feed them steak and lobster. I don't have a problem with that. I love that you love that dog. But I don't feel the same way you do. I'll respect your animal always. I will always respect them, but I don't want them on me. Okay? Because I'll tear your house up. Exactly. Do you want me to scream and holler and flail around? Is that what you want for me as your guest over your house? Even out in public, like people just have their animals and just let them run up to strangers. You don't know if I have a phobia. I could have a heart attack right here and now because your dog scared the mess out of me. It's just a public service announcement. Because maybe y'all don't realize that. Some people are animal lovers and think everybody's an animal lover. And then on top of that, we in the kitchen. We in the kitchen. I'm about to eat. Your dog is all over me. It's licking me. Hair is getting on me. I don't want that when I'm eating. Okay? Pinky, if you married a man who was a dog lover, you'll compromise. Look, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay. Right now, I'm with somebody. You know, he don't have a dog. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay. I'm just putting this out here for right now. Okay. I can't do it. Anyway. So then she wanted to do a TikTok with him. Herbert got to be mid-30s. Don't nobody want to do no TikTok. I mean, that's cute and that's fun or whatever. Don't nobody want to do no TikTok. And then y'all are not even in a relationship. Are you gonna post it? Like, I don't know. That's just very Gen Z of you to want to do. But yeah, like I said, I don't see the chemistry. I don't see them being together. They're just going through the motions with each other because that none of that added up to me. So then we have Janelle and Q. Janelle is concerned about his age, and that's her doubt. He's like, we'll worry about that later. And Janelle is 41 years old. Janelle is saying she wants children, so she wants to know the timeline. So no, we're not gonna brush that off. I appreciated that. We have to talk about these things because Janelle wants to have a child. And he asked her about adoption. She's passionate about adoption because she was adopted, I believe she said, when she was 6 months. And then he asked if they were white. And I'm just like, okay, now you're doing the same. Come on, Quentin, now. Because I was defending you. I was defending you against Kira. And then you asked this woman, were her adopted parents white? What would make him ask that? I don't know, because I don't get that from Janelle. I don't know, y'all. That was a little off-putting to me. What did y'all think? I do feel like Quinn is putting in the work with Janelle, but now that I'm looking a little bit closer at the situation, is it sincere? I don't know. Is he just trying to win? I don't know. Because like I said, it was like that competitive nature between him and Herbert that I feel like was kind of driving him at one point. But when they were one-on-one, I don't know. It just didn't feel sincere. What happened with Q and Lee? Yeah, yeah. What's going on with that? What's going on with that? White people adopt, whereas we tend to foster. I hear you, but there are a lot of Black people that when young Black girls have a baby and can't take care of them, whether they're in their family or for whatever reason, the girl can't take care of. I know so many situations of families that took in babies and they didn't formally go through like an adoption agency, but it was like this child needs a home and they took them in. So I hear what you're saying, but yeah, there are plenty of situations like that. We don't know how her adoption situation was because she hasn't really explained that unless she explained it somewhere else that I don't know about. Janelle says she speaks on the phone with Q real bad, so how he didn't know she was adopted. Yeah, I don't know. I'm side-eyeing Q, y'all. Not for the whole he likes white women thing. I don't know. I don't know how sincere he is. And Janelle, I don't even think Janelle likes Quentin like that, to be honest. I think she just likes the attention she's getting from him and the fact that him and Herbert are kind of like going at it over her, but I don't know that she really likes him either. So then we have Kira and Morier. Another, like, why are y'all doing this? Like, y'all don't like each other. So she's still feeling a way about the fact that he questioned her blackness, which I think most people there are questioning your blackness. You can't tell me the women there didn't share with the men that she said she was the whitest, she had the whitest personality there. You can't tell me she didn't tell everybody that. So of course the men are going to question you. And then you have some nerve because you questioned Quentin on dating white women. So you're a hypocrite on top of that. But he didn't back down. He expressed his concerns, and once again she said she has a black dad and black brothers. Okay, girl, we knew that. We could look at you and tell. And see, the reason why before she said she had black family, I asked, was she adopted by white people? Because she very much upholds whiteness over blackness. So I just wonder, did white people raise you? Because that would at least you would have a little bit of an excuse. But now you don't have none because your family black. Like, what's going on, girl? You need to dig deeper because a lot of what you do and say comes off as anti-black and like you hate yourself and your culture. And then you get mad when people ask you questions about it when that's how you move. Um, and she told him she felt that he should be able to detect genuine versus not genuine. And I think he does. That's why he's asking you that question. Okay, so let's move on to Lee and Marvin. Lee is just floating. Lee, what, like somebody said before, what happened to Lee and Quentin? Because they had like a cute little connection, I thought. And now we don't even see them talking anymore. What happened to that? Why are you on a date with Marvin? You know good and well you don't want no Marvin. He scared you away with that conversation. He talked about worshiping butts and all this other crazy stuff. And you knew you didn't want him right then and there. So why are you on a date with him? I just don't get it. And then they had a conversation about their lifestyles not aligning and he's willing to compromise. Marvin, I want to dot Marvin dead in his forehead. Shut up and get off of this show. Stop it. I'm so glad the women on this show are not that gullible to fall for anything you have to say. I don't know why they're entertaining you, but for you to be playing with my intelligence like that, get out of here. You're not as suave as you think that you are. I don't know who falls for whatever Marvin is selling, but he's giving cult leader. He's giving televangelist. One of the ones that just want money. But he wants all his devious needs to be met. I don't know. I don't trust him. And then, like she said, your lifestyle is too extreme for you to just want to switch up overnight like that. Like, who do you think you're talking to? Like, ugh. Oh my goodness. Like, he disgusts me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So then we get to the ladies' lounge. Don't you feel like he could switch up and be a televangelist? Child, I could see him doing that overnight and blowing up, child. Anyway, the lady sat down and they felt like Chris was only trying to sell himself. One thing I will say about Chris, I don't think that his connection is there. I don't think any woman was really interested in him. It doesn't seem like he really was pursuing anyone. He didn't really have any connections. So I could understand why some of the women could take him as, being fake or just trying to sell himself. I could kind of see that. But I genuinely don't think that's where he was coming from. And then somebody brought up Marvin and how he likes to see his partner sleep with other men. It was so funny at the end. Tommy was like, I'm about to go home and make love to my wife by myself. Ain't nobody coming up in my house. Tommy be saying some funny one-liners sometimes. I holler so loud. But that is so disgusting. Like, okay, because I'm gonna be accused of shaming. But I just like, these women are here to be in monogamous relationships. Why are you saying that? Then Kyra said that Morier has too much going on. Jessica chimes in, basically completely combating what she's saying, and said that because Kyra was trying to make it seem like Morier is not pursuing her and not calling her, and Jessica was like, well, people make time for what they want, y'all, because he been calling me and he been talking to me and we have a connection. And so then she brought up the fact that he questioned her on her Black culture. Once again, Janelle was talking over her and said something in his defense. And then Kira called him Marvin instead of Morier. Janelle took that personally. So she called him Marvin instead of Morier, even if she was being shady. Why are you taking that personally? Do you even have a connection with Morier to feel offended? Like, what? So she called her out and basically said you did that on purpose. And Kira apologized and said, she's sorry if that offended. Like, I wouldn't even apologize to her. I said what I said, but she apologized and basically said, like, I'm sorry if that offended you, but you've been snarky to me this whole time. And Janelle called her out about being incorrect about the men and being incorrect about Q only dating white women, and called her out for saying she's the whitest woman here, saying she got some anti-Black stuff going on over there with her. Jessica co-signed and said that, basically Kira was like saying some things were like too Black for her, or too ghetto, or too hood, or whatever she was saying, which I could believe Kira said all that. I totally 100% believe them. And then Kira turned around and said that they're mean girls and they single people out. And I 100% agree with Kira. I think they're both right about each other. That's the crazy part. Both of them were like calling each other out, but they're both of y'all are right about each other. But then Janelle took it too far and basically said she would not be speaking to her because she doesn't like her. Like, I would not. And that's such a mean girl thing to do, to try to like isolate someone. Because if you don't talk to Kira, Jessica gonna follow behind you and not talk to Kira because y'all had this little back and forth when it's not even that deep. Is it really that deep for you to like, oh, I'm not talking to you anymore for the entirety of this? Why are you getting into it with Kira? There was no need for both of them to get into it with each other like that. I don't know. I just didn't like that. I didn't like the back and forth. It was weird. It got to a place where the animosity didn't make any sense because y'all don't even know each other like that to be having all this beef. Which I feel like Kira didn't want it. But then we got to the end. Tommy threw a curveball. 2 men had to go home. It ended up being Marvin. Thank God. It was time for Marvin to go. And they also got rid of Chris, which, even though I don't think Chris necessarily did anything to deserve to go home, he didn't have any connections with any of the women there. So it made sense that he went home, even though I'm just like, I don't know why y'all are sending Chris home. To me, he's the most attractive guy there. He seemed like his head is on straight, and he seems like a genuine person. I don't know why the women were not feeling Chris. And I'm gonna need more than him just reading off his resume because I don't get it. Maybe it's something that we're not seeing, but from the edit, I just don't understand why they didn't like Chris. But then y'all are giving second and third chances to Marvin. I don't know. Morier was also in the bottom, but he ended up being saved. So let's see what you guys have to say. I'm going to scroll back up and read some of your Older comments that I missed. Let's see. I was just shocked to hear that she had been married 3 times. Did I hear that wrong? Who are you talking about? I watched Love Island UK, and I don't know why I watched it, but I did. I was so bored. Um I like how Aries does not lead with her kids like the other women. She does bring up her kids, but I like the way she dates. I do. These these dating shows are all a joke now. I refuse to watch these shows through a reality lens. It was a wasted date, but who is Sierra's connections? I agree. Who is Sierra connected with? Chris is fine. We love a country boy. We sure do. They need a show. They need to show more dates. We see more fights. I totally agree. They take up half the episode with the fights. Yeah, she came in the door ready to prove he was fake. Yeah, I totally agree. Who is Sierra's connections? Some people don't value having cars, but it is odd. I Does she not have a car at all? Like, if she doesn't have a car at all and talking about Birkins, yeah, I am gonna side eye that a little bit. Unless you live in New York or something like that. I Yeah. I think Chris 2.0 and Kira's date would have been more interesting than the Chris and Sierra or Kira and Morier dates. I totally agree. I would have liked to see them interact more. He was so fine. I'd take a 9 West purse. I'm not a big purse name brand um label person. So I don't know. But I'm definitely not looking for my man to give me a Birkin. Like, I would be pissed off if you spent $50,000 on a purse. Like, give me a car. Like, I'd rather take the car over the purse. Like, it depends. You can get over not having a car in a big city, no one in NY. I agree. I agree with that too. Um, he didn't even eat that much. If anything, that got mad about that day. Jessica is too strong. She does need to be softer. It was nothing wrong with what Chris 1.0 said. No, I agree. She can loosen up a little bit. Um, Jessica was campaigning hard for Chris at the hoedown, but I didn't see any chemistry. Yeah, I didn't see any chemistry. I have not seen that between them at all. It's giving Woody and Imani in the first week. Who? Direct is fine, but she needs to lighten up. I totally agree. Maybe his mother was gentle with him, and maybe that's what he wants. Listen, I'm tired of going back and forth with these men. I wouldn't mind a softer man, not that soft. Yeah, I like. He seems like he would be gentle and like he would have an emotional intelligence. We'll see, but a man like that does require a woman that can be a little bit more understanding of his emotions as well. And she don't seem like she can. I don't know. He's too young for this cast. I could I could see that too. She's seems combative. Honestly, I think Janelle's more softer. Yeah, like, even though Janelle is super combative with the women, she gets really soft and feminine and butters the men up. Marvin got a woman now. I'm not shocked, but I'm sure she's not the only one. Marvin came on here to sell his books. Child, exactly. Kat doesn't want kids. Well, Marvin has a child, doesn't he? What two-parent household got to do with you wanting monogamy? That wasn't a good explanation. It wasn't. Nobody wants to read Marvin's books. I don't really see any connections on this show besides maybe Aries and Philip. They're the only ones to root for. I agree. Girl, this dog conversation. um, y'all know how I am with dogs. I had to give my little disclaimer. Thank you, Pretty Scorp. She says she puts hers up. Y'all have to understand everybody's not dog people. I'm not a house pet person either. Our cats wanted to be outside and were let them be free outside. Little dog hair in the food ain't nothing but a little extra protein. Ew, Yoli. I only like dogs that are old, they're arthritic, and can finally calm down in life. I'm screaming. Maybe that's why I need to be around some old dogs. Oh my god. I can be around calm dogs. I just don't want them all on me. Um, let's see. We talked about the adoption thing. We talked about Q and Lee. Um, Janelle, Q, Marie, and Jessica giving alliances to make it to the end. I could totally see that. I could totally see that. I want to know what Morier does for work because he said he's very heavy in the community. Me too. Is he a community leader? Janelle just likes to skin and grin in these men's face. I don't think she genuinely likes any of them. Me either. I totally agree. I don't think anyone has a solid connection here. They're going through the motions. She may not be of the Black Dallas culture. The Dougie, for example, she keeps saying her family is Black, but has she said she is Black? Girl, if she says she not Black, I'm gonna holler so loud. These are producer put and they feel producer put together. They felt these dates felt produced. Marvin trying to sell those lustful books. Marvin Copeland pop off. I could totally see him going that route, y'all. Country Chris is sensitive and defensive. Marvin needs deliverance. I think Chris was genuine. He just seemed very PowerPoint presentation mode. Yes. He needs to loosen up himself. He need to loosen up. Cause he seemed like he's a nice guy. I just want him to, like, you just feel like you're on defense mode a little bit. Why is Owen and Will Packer playing in our face this season? Jessica said that people will make time for what they want. So what's your excuse of Chris 1.0 not calling you? Janelle equals Joy 2.0. I could see that. I think Kira was probably nervous because Janelle and Jessica were probably ganging up on her. The elimination at the ranch should have been a double elimination. I agree. The only real connection I see is Phil and Aries. Two things can be true at the same time. Yeah, Kira and Janelle, they were right about each other. They need to stop bringing in these curveballs. I just don't see any connection between maybe Aries and Phil. Me either. We didn't find out to half the season that Chris 1 was a father. Exactly. She doesn't have a car in Texas. She said she used to live in NYC, and that's why I was like, girl, well, look, I'll give her a little bit of a pass because a lot of people from New York, they don't drive and they don't be getting their license. So, and they don't value cars the way, like, say, someone from the South would. I couldn't wait to get a car. When I was 16, you couldn't tell me nothing when I got my license and started driving. That was like a rite of passage. But like if you live in New York, you take the subway everywhere, taxis, you walk. I wanted Chris and Kat to go on a date. I could have, like, how come we didn't see Chris date anyone other than people that didn't like him? I feel like Kat would have given him more of a chance. I feel like Kira would have given him more of a chance, even though I feel like Kira like white men, like I said. Chris 2.0 reminds me of dudes from Mississippi. Very yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Very serious. I'm adding very serious. I know. That's why I looked at Chris and I understood where he was coming from. I'm from Mississippi too. Some men, like down south men, the country, they very serious. They very serious. They want to get married. They want to get to know you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he did need to loosen up a little bit, but I don't think he was being fake. I just think he was being very, like, his demeanor just was coming off wrong. Like the women didn't understand it, but I got it. I should have gotten my license when I was younger. Now I'm scared of everything. That's what I hear from a lot of people when they don't get their license early in life. They're scared of driving. Girl, that's all I do all day every day is drive. Anyway, guys, y'all let me know what am I saying? I forgot to let y'all know. Don't forget to shop lavidarosastyle.com. Okay? Make sure y'all check out my website. I have cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing. Forgot to put on my rings, but I make rings as well, wire rings. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Peace.